So thanks, Anthony, for asking me to share my ideas or my thoughts on the video clip of Wole Soyinka you posted. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to let you cut whatever part of the video you want to cut. But before posting the video, I'd really appreciate it if I could, look at what parts you cut, just to make sure they weren't taken out of context, or to make sure I approve of whatever it is you're going to post. So I want to start by just giving a response to Wole Soyinka's little speech, and I think I agree with what his main I agree with his idea and thought about political correctness, and it's something I've also been thinking of when we talk about the democratic state. When you elect a leader and have that leader represent you and make decisions on your behalf, and I've been wondering how much power we give the leader when we do that. So when I elect a leader, do I expect the leader to make a decision on every single aspect of my own life, or every single aspect I need to control, without further asking my consent? So if I elect a leader this month, and I have views this month, if I've changed my views 3-4 months from now, that leader is still going to be making decisions for me based on the views I had previously. So I'm still questioning how democracy is being practiced, whether or not it's democratic enough, and how we could change the process to make it more inclusive of people's views that are changing. Another thing I want to touch on, I hate, there's this whole forget about colonization, don't blame colonization anymore. I'm not blaming colonization for anything, but I just want to speak about the effect it's had on African societies. So I feel the greatest effect of colonization was the ability, or its ability, to make Africans think like colonialists and also act like the colonialists. So even after the colonizers left, we still think and act and, make decisions based on them. How this is important. During colonization, the colonialists would look to African history and twist it. And say, this is how you guys used to practice your culture, so this is why we're doing this. And then a lot of Africans then believed it, especially the men, because most of the laws were favorable to men. So if you're changing the history or the facts about a culture to favor a certain group, and you put that group in power, that group is going to maintain whatever it is about the culture. So the whole notion of women staying at home to cook, women staying at home to eat, that was all part of the colonial process, not necessarily women's original roles in these cultures. So now, how does that affect what we do now? Most people talk about Africanness of something. How African is this? The huge one now is homosexuality. How African is homosexuality? And what people don't realize is that they look onto a skewed past to judge that this is not African. And even if at some point in time homosexuality was not practiced in some African societies, does that mean it wouldn't have been? Does that mean those societies hold it as static and it's never going to be practiced, or the culture is never going to change? The culture has a firm ideology, a firm take on this particular issue. So I think right now we need to actually engage in, I don't want to say dialogue, that word is being overused. We need to I feel like, start producing bodies of knowledge. I think, oh fuck,